may be seated, and once again, welcome to First Baptist Church of Brantford. My name is AJ Smith. I am the senior minister here. It is great to be with you all, and I'd like to just go through a few announcements before we continue with our worship. And they're on the back of your bulletin if you'd like to follow along. The first of which is not listed, but many of you know the announcement already, and it is Janet Batista's birthday. So we are going to sing to her. As you know, Janet her ministry is making this place feel like a celebration. So it is our day to celebrate her. And that's the first of the announcements right there. We have Sunday on Sunday. Today is a make your own ice cream Sunday party during fellowship hour. We have a whole setup there. It's awesome. And we are tagging Janet onto that celebration. It's her birthday party. So there we go. Yes. So that's today. The next is congregational photo. As you know, we have a young woman named Michaela who we support through Child Fund International, and we've been raising money for her community as well as birthday, things like that. So actually that announcement's at the bottom right there. You can see we've donated. We've exceeded our donation amount for this year. Thank you all. You're also very generous. The remaining money will be held over to 2026. She sent some cards and letters and photos. They're on display, or at least they will be on display. Are they on display right now? Not yet. They're going to be on display soon that she sent. So we'd like to send her a photo with of the whole congregation. So on July 13th, be photo ready. And if you're willing and able, we're going to take a photo during fellowship time that we can send to Michaela. Our church picnic is coming up on the 19th. That is already paid for and taken care of. And the hot dogs, hamburgers, rolls, all of that is taken care of as well. We just need to know who's coming. So there's a sign-up sheet in the fellowship hall. Just let us know who's coming. And if you're signing and representing your family, just put the number who's going to be with you. You know, I did AJ with 6 in parentheses, all right? So just something like that. So we know how many people to plan for. There's also a sign-up sheet for some side dishes and stuff, and you don't have to make anything up. They're already listed out. So it's watermelon slices or whatever it is out, and just put your name next to it, and that's the thing you can bring. On that day, which is our next announcement, we're going to be baptizing folks. So we have a few people already signed up that are going to be baptized in the Long Island Sound that day at Killam's Point. And so I'm going to be holding, I'll announce it this week, a baptism. I don't even call it a class, about a baptism gathering for those who are getting baptized, maybe want to get baptized, or have questions about baptism. So if you are in that category in any way, there's a baptism sign-up sheet in Fellowship Hall. Sign up, and I'll reach out to everyone who signed up, and we'll just get together probably just next week after worship, and that would give us time to prepare for baptism there. The way our church works is we only baptize people who are believers, meaning they're of age where they say, I want to follow Jesus, and that's what Baptists believe. We baptize believers. A number of other Christian traditions baptize babies or infants, so we don't practice that here. However, we don't preclude those who are baptized as babies from being members here. In other words, if you were baptized as a baby, we can still count that baptism. That's how we do things. However, I do recognize that I also do support someone who was baptized as a baby and wants to be baptized as an adult. Now, only one adult baptism, though. I don't think you need any more after that, all right? You're good. I know. But so if you've been baptized as a baby and you say, I get it, I apply that to my current situation, even at the church, no problem. I'm not going to fight you on that. If you've never been baptized and you're a follower of Jesus, come talk with me, because baptism is part of following Jesus. And if you've been baptized as a baby, and you're like, maybe I do want to do a baptism now since I've actually become a follower of Jesus, talk to me. If any children, we don't have an age here, like we have to be 12. If any kids want to be baptized or you have questions about that, everyone's welcome to come be part of the conversation. So sign up in the fellowship hall and we'll get together soon. The next thing is our Helping Hands team. I'm so grateful for all the sign-ups. So the Helping Hands team basically exists to help people who need repairs, lawn work, odd jobs done because they're perhaps elderly, are unable to do it physically, or maybe just are in a financial in there who are part of that team. And basically, when there is a need we are made aware of, we bring it to the team, and those people who say, hey, I'm good at lawn care, whatever it is, we send them over to take care of it. Right now, we've had 3 duds, all right? Meaning 3 leads that didn't follow. They ended up not wanting the help. That's okay. So we're working directly with the Brantford Counseling and Community Center as they receive calls about, hey, I need my step fixed or whatever. We're on the list to get a call to then we can decide if we can vet if it's us or not. We also are available if you know anyone or if you're someone who says, this issue I can't handle, I need to fix this, there's whatever it might be, let me know, let us know. We can see if it will fit with the Helping Hands ministry. And if you know anyone, maybe you have a neighbor who's elderly or whatever reason, maybe unable to fix something or has an overgrown lawn that they just can't keep up with, seriously, just let us know. And thanks to the New Haven Baptist Union who gave us $1,000 just to fund that. They gave us $1,000 for the general fund of the church and also $1,000 for any supplies or materials for the Helping Hands team. So if you're part of that and you go out and you need to buy some concrete or wood or some whatever, gas for a mower, we have $1,000 to spend on that as well. So the humanitarian need, I'm going to bring up Deb in just a second. So right now, Cuba is experiencing the worst economic crisis in decades, and there's a critical shortage of food. So Deb Conti has a friend whose family and their neighbors are in need of assistance. So Deb's going to come up and talk to us a little bit about the situation in Cuba. We are collecting certain food items as well as cash donations to pay for shipping for those items. So Deb, go ahead, please share.
Thank you, AJ.
Yes.
So every week, every Sunday, AJ, prays for a number of different countries in various crises, and I'm always silently praying for my best friend's country of Cuba. Most people don't know there's such a shortage, such a crisis there. The stores are empty, and then when there's a line forms when all of a sudden oil comes into the store, for instance, or chicken, and then once it's gone, no one knows when that food is going to come back. So when AJ recently asked if there's another country we could pray for, I was grateful. I'm like, wow, thank you. Please pray for Cuba. But just like the generosity of this church and let's do it attitude, he said, well, we can do more than that. He talked to Janice, we can send the food there. So I was super grateful that my friend Milvia's family can receive food, her neighborhood. Her niece works in a daycare, and she explained to me that each day the daycare is allotted a certain amount of food for a certain amount of kids. And I looked at the picture of this food. I'm like, how could that many kids eat that? They give them 2 tablespoons of milk and each a day. And she's saying the children are having a terrible time. And so one of the things that we can collect is dried milk powder. So if anybody wants to donate a thing of powder of any size, anything that can be reconstituted with water. So say mashed potatoes, pasta, oatmeal, rice, beans are things that they rarely can get.
Dried beans.
Yeah.
Not in the cans,
beans,
right.
Nothing in the cans.
Right.
Cans are so heavy to ship. But anything like that, there's going to be a table in the back. Yeah, so really appreciate any donations. The family, the neighborhood, the daycare would be hugely indebted So thank you so
Yeah,
much.
thanks, Deb.
One more quick mention, I'm part of the DR mission team.
Yes,
Well, then
please.
the trip I'm gonna go on is in January, so that's 6 months from now. So if anybody's considering a mission to the Dominican Republic mission team, please talk to me.
Please do, yeah. DR is something we support every year. Put up medical clinics down in DR. Deb helps with dental stuff down there for those who need it. So it's something that's on our hearts, on our minds. We are very aware of and we support. But if you want to go, talk to her. This is a very established trip where it's very held together and tight. So you'll go
Right.
down there and
Well run, like
Yeah,
a well-oiled
yeah,
clock.
absolutely.
You don't have to be medical. You can do construction. You can teach kids. You can, talk to anybody that's gone. So thank you. very much.
Please, yes. And just another word about what Deb said. She had been sending her friends' family stuff on her own dime. So she'd say, getting a box of the stuff and shipping it is costing upward of $1,000.
For, say, 13 boxes of,
Not a lot of food.
so it costs more than the food to ship.
Right,
Anybody wants to contribute to the shipping cost, that's
right.
more helpful.
Yeah, indeed.
So much.
So go to the missions table. There's a very specific list of foods and goods. So this isn't a bring your canned goods thing. We can't ship that stuff. There's very specific things. So look at that if you can bring it. Again, these aren't expensive things. Dried beans, things like that. Bring that. And if you can bring money for shipping, again, that's the big hit. Shipping stuff to Cuba is serious, especially if it's a big box. That's all I have by way of announcements. So the next thing I have on here is, again, one of our historical moments featuring our historian, Susan Ward, who's going to share with us something from our past today. Come on up, Susan.
Well, good morning, everyone. And Janet, I want you to know that the first